Hi Flosstube, Olivia B here. It's been a while. It's been like 4 months since I uploaded my dark October stitching vlogs. So I don't know why I do this to myself. I know people are always like, sorry I haven't made a video so long, life, but that's not I don't have that excuse. My life's not that exciting. It's really just procrastination. But I'm finally sitting down. I don't know why I do this to myself because now it's like an overwhelming amount of stuff. But, you know, I could keep waiting and that would just make it worse. So, and I'm excited to talk to you guys because I watch Flosstube like every day. And so I feel like I'm being talked to, but I haven't had a chance to talk back. So I am here and I'm babbling and I'm going to have one sip of coffee. An ode to Ingeborg and Carolyn and all the other coffee drinkers on Flosstube. Okay, let's just get into it, shall we? I'm going to start with FFOs, but my first few FFOs are very special in that I didn't stitch them. So first off, Elena stitched this for me, Turkey Bay, and I just found a frame. I haven't put the backing on it yet. But it is an FFO because it's in the frame and I've had it propped up since November. But isn't that freaking adorable? It fit perfectly in a 5x7, so that was an easy frame job. I usually lace, and that's what I did here, and I love it, and I'm so thankful for it. So thank you, Elena. I love it. It's adorable. And then I met a new fellow stitcher this year during Stitchy Christmas. I need to talk about Stitchy Christmas. So, sorry, I'm a little all over the place because I got so much stuff to talk about. Did Stitchy Christmas again this year. That's our card up there. We went to the Winchester Mystery House, and a family friend of ours took the photographs, and we borrowed the costumes from Elena's boyfriend Serge's friend, who just happened to have these amazing like Dickens era costumes, and it was like a dream come true for me because I was at the Winchester Mystery House dressed up like I was in the Dickens era. It was fun, it was goofy, and then we sent out a ton of cards, and thank you to those who actually contacted us and wanted cards. Thank you for humoring us. Thank you so much to the people who sent cards. I can't tell you how fun that was. Not someone until the last 2 years I haven't been a Christmas card person. I just never really thought to send them out. I had like maybe, you know, I get like 2 a year, and then all of a sudden I got all these Christmas cards this year. I totally got like addicted to receiving Christmas cards. January hit and it was like there's no reason to look forward to the mail anymore. But it was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the kind words. The Christmas cards we sent out were fun this year. We took a lot of pictures, and I was like, well, I had so many, I couldn't choose from the pictures, so I was like, I'll get the 2-sided cards so I can put more pictures on there. But then I realized when I sent them out, like there was no room to sign them or to put a note or anything, so they felt a little less personal. So that's the one regret I have about the cards, because then I started receiving cards with notes, and it just made me feel really warm and fuzzy inside. And then I was like, well, we don't really give anyone warm and fuzzies, but hopefully we at least made you smile or laugh. In an effort to make it more personal, I had Dusty lick all the envelopes, so everyone got a little Dusty DNA. Excuse me, need some water. Also, that was a joke, I'm sorry. He didn't really lick the envelopes. I licked like 2, and then I got a foam brush and a glass of water. I didn't want to be like, you know, in Seinfeld, where George's wife dies from licking too many old envelopes. Anyway, okay, off topic. So thank you so much for Stitchy Christmas. It was a blast. Next 2 FFOs were Stitchy Christmas gifts. So we also had like an in-person Stitchy Christmas with the NorCal Stitchers. Elena made this amazing spread. We held it at my house. It was awesome. Got to hang out with Stitchers, and that's always awesome. But one Stitcher I had not met before, and I don't believe she has Flosstube or Instagram. Her name is Catherine. And Catherine actually, she makes costumes. Which is amazing. It's always amazing to me, people who make costumes. Anyway, she made me a gift, a stitched gift, and this just blew me away. When I opened up the package, I just gasped. I didn't open it in front of her. I just, you know, she gave like hostess gifts, and I was like, oh, you know, I just put it aside. I didn't want to I don't know, I feel awkward opening presents in front of people. I wish I'd opened it in front of her. I told her that my thank you card because I was just so blown away. But Catherine, if you see this video, thank you. I adore this. So now I'm going to finally show you. It's a queen on a casket. She said she was inspired by my Dark October stitching. And it opens up, and then she has a needle here, and then she had this wonderful pair of embroidery scissors, but they sit by my stitching spots. They're not in here right now, and then this sits in my cubby so I can look at it all the time. But isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, it's sparkly. I just love this. I couldn't believe that. Look at that skill. So Catherine, thank you so much. This is so cool. I love it. And then the next one you might have seen by the maker in her video. This, I couldn't believe this. Stephanie from LindyStitches made this for me. That's Dusty. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I have my dog, Dusty, who is my BFF in the world. And this is a pattern by Flora Stitchwort. I'll put it on the screen just in case I pronounced it wrong. And it's, oh my god, so adorable. And the original dog is like a black lab or something like that. It looks about like that. And she changed it and graphed it to become Dusty. And this melts my heart. It is so cute. It's like it looks so much like him. Like the fact that she took the trouble to do that. Stephanie, I adore this more than I can ever express in words. It is absolutely beautiful. And look at the back. It's amazing. So this kills me. This is up all year round. Yeah. So thank you so much. So those are my FFOs that I did not stitch. I have 3 FFOs that I did stitch. 2 of these are finishes since the last time I did an update video. So my last update video was in September, and then I released a video every week in October for Dark October Stitching as a vlog. And thank you so much to everyone who watched those. I know that's a lot of content, and some of you aren't even into dark stitching, and you still took the time to watch, and I really appreciate that. And a shout out to Laura Duet on Instagram. I posted daily Instagram pictures of all the projects I started, and I swear Laura had something nice to say about every single picture, and that's amazing. She's an amazing woman, and so supportive and encouraging. All right, I finished Cooper by Cathy Barek. I loved this pattern and I loved stitching it, and I got it framed. It's just a simple wooden frame. I just recently saw someone, I think they're in Russia, on Instagram, and they had an amazing frame, which made me very jealous. I'm going to put their handle on the screen, so if you want to look it up, or if you're stitching this or going to stitch this and you want some inspiration. So I got these I have 3 pieces framed. I got them framed at Michael's, and they had like, I went in on Black Friday, they had 70% off their custom framing, and I was having something framed for my parents for Christmas, non-stitching, and I decided to bring in these 3 pieces to have framed, and I was gonna do the stretching myself. I was just gonna have them order all the materials, but they said, you know, it's like, it was less than $20 a piece to have them do it. I was like, okay, I'll take this opportunity. I think in the future I'll do it myself. They weren't perfect. In all fairness, I don't see that they could make them perfect for the amount they're charging. The amount of time it would take to really, you know, pin it and lace it perfectly. I don't expect them to have the expertise. They just don't have the time. It's not that they butchered the job or anything like that. It's just, if you want it done right, then you really need to put it down a good amount of money or a good amount of time, in my opinion, unless you're lucky and that's, you know, you have a very affordable framer who's really skilled at needlework. And also, when I was measuring them to figure out what size frames I needed, I did notice that my stitch pieces weren't perfect. They didn't fit perfectly square or rectangle. I don't know if I'm distorting the fabric with my Q-snaps or my stitching. I think it probably would have gone away. I could make it straight with the pinning and lacing, but I ended up not doing them myself. So anyway, just if you're just putting it out there for help. These were all very affordable though, And I actually, I told them no glass, and when I went to pick them up, they did have glass. And they asked if I wanted, and so I didn't get charged for the glass. They asked if I wanted to remove the glass, but while you're seeing glare, so you see some glare here, like there, I actually, on my end, the glass, it must be some high quality glass, because I don't see, you know, I almost don't see it, the glass. The closer I look at these, the more I'm like, I wonder if I need to just take them out and lace them myself. But anyway, that was Cooper. I think he's pretty handsome. I really, really love this pattern. Cathy, Barek. Gets me every time, especially their birds. So, love that guy. Okay, the next one is Hannah's House. This is a pattern by the Work Basket. There you go. This one is a funky one. I loved this one though. They put it on white foam board. I didn't think to ask for anything else. So definitely gives it a different, maybe slightly different appearance than it did when it's just the fabric. You can see that top line there, how that's not straight. You know, it's satin stitch, so I'm sure my pressure was off. I don't know that I could have gotten it straight either. And this is a funky piece, so I'm not going to be too worried if it's a little wavy at the top. I loved stitching this. I love the colors. It was just a lot of fun. And I'm trying to remember what the fabric was. I think it was chocolate raspberry. I think it's a Witchell. And it's got a blue frame on it that's got some fingerprints there. But yeah, I love this. I don't think I would take this one out of the frame and fix it. I'm good with how it is. Okay, and then this one, this is a finished you've seen before, but I finally got it framed. This is Halloween at Hawker and Hollow. Yep, that's a bigger one. I don't know. Sorry, I know like some people are like, don't show your imperfections, but the fabric's a little wrinkly. I had a lot of questions about getting stuff professionally framed, so I'm just trying to be kind of upfront and honest about how it came out for me, just in case that's helpful to anyone. I do feel like you get what you pay for, and I got a really good deal on these, and you know, they're not perfect, but I love it. Look at that. It's all big and framed. I want to stitch the other ones. So yeah, Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. I loved stitching. This is probably one of my favorite stitches ever. All right, that's my FFOs. Whips. Okay, I have a lot of whips to show you. And I'm going to do these in no particular order. I'm just going to, I have a pile here and go through it. This is actually my current whip and my latest start. This is Goat Load. This is for Emily's birthday sale. It's her birthday this month. And we are stitching Goat Load as a sal. Goat Load by Plum Street Samplers. It's fun, cute. I'm stitching it on 32 count Lugana. It's a small piece I had in my stash from a long time ago. It's in Dill. Dill by Picture This Plus reminds me of Emily. I think she must love this fabric or something. That's why it's stuck in my head. I think she's doing Mermaid's Folly on it. How do I know these things? I'm stitching it in like the called for colors, not necessarily the called for threads, because I don't have quite a bit of them. I have a few of these that you're seeing here, but I was looking at the rest of the thread list and I don't have any more of them. The greens are Gentle Arts, and the other ones are Weeks Dye Works that are called for. And then I don't have any of the other threads, like I said, so I'm going to convert those to Gentle Arts. I just kind of pull the DMC conversion that she's listed and then find a Gentle Arts thread that looks close to it. I plan on stitching this one until I finish it. I have to put 2 more goats there and fill in like the little flowers, and I'm not going to do the border. See, there's like a rectangle border there. So I won't do that. One of these flowers gets cut off by the border, so I just completed the flower. And that's a lot of fun. Happy birthday, Emily. Happy early birthday. Okay, next. Oops, I should have undid these. Next one is my Anne Uffendale sampler. Because it's been so long, I don't think I'm going to bother with inserting pictures this time, and I'll try to do it next time of like where I was the last time. But these might all look pretty fresh to you because I've been gone for a while. Here's where I am with Anne Uffendale. I should show you the picture just in case you haven't seen this one before. This is Hands Across the Sea samplers. And yeah, I finished that big vase, which I love. It's beautiful. I have plenty more to go. I have some 1/140 count motifs that I need to do. And those are not easy. But yeah, that's where we are with Anne Ufendel. Next up is another new start since the last time I've seen you. This is something you've likely seen before, Gossamer Lace and Black Work by Works by ABC. Arlene has stitched this entire piece and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's large, it's beautiful. She stitched hers in white on blue fabric. I am stitching mine in a dark green from Threadworks called 1048. I'm stitching it on white fabric. This is a 40 count even weave that Zweigart has called Verdal. They only have it in white. It's a really big piece of fabric. It's half a yard. My little start. Is it focusing? Yeah, there you go. So that's my Gossamer Lace and Black Work. I absolutely love working on this. I did not need to start a new big project, but I didn't have any black work going because I finished my Queen Elizabeth and I was just kind of itching for it. And once I bought this pattern, I couldn't wait much longer. So I love that. Next up is Threadwork Primitives, Beggar's Night. This was a gift from my friend Maddie and her wonderful dog Hallie. So sweet. And I'm going to be making this into a pin cushion because Maddie made me these adorable pumpkin counting pins, which I'll show you once the cushion's ready. But here's where I am on that one. Almost done. I just need to do the pumpkin and the vines. And I'll be finished. I love that. This is on a 40 count fossil by Picture This Plus. This is an old piece that I had in my stash. I bought it on eBay, so I don't know how old it is. I don't even know if they still make it, but it's really pretty. Ooh, next up, Big Red Ship of Life. I have been working on this one for a couple years. I started this with Emily and Tracy P and others, and a lot of people are stitching on it. This is my working copy picture, but it's all in red. I'm doing it all in red except for the waves I'm doing in blue and the sails I'm doing in yellow. The designer's mom stitched it that way. That's where I got the idea. But my main color is DMC 498. I am trying to focus on this piece more this year because I would really like it hanging in my dining room. I have no plans this year. I'm doing No Plans 19. I don't know. I think Maddie's the one that came up with that hashtag, but it's right up my alley. Stitch what I want, start what I want, buy what I want. But I do love watching you guys make plans. It's really fun to watch. It's no fun for me to actually do. So here I am. I am on page 7. This is an enjoyable piece to stitch. Yeah, I love it. And I can really just like get into it. So I'm going to try to stitch on this as much as possible this year. So page 7 out of 16. So it would be great to finish the top half by the halfway point in the year, but again, we'll just see where I get. This is on a 32 count cream linen from Charles Craft. I wanted it big, that's why it's stitched on a bigger count. Next up, this one was started during my Dark October stitching. It's Blackbird Fracture from Plum Street Samplers. This is a gift from my friend Michelle. Beautiful. I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen in, I think it's called Stone Gray. I think it's a witch, no, it's White Art. And that's where I am. I've got a bird butt and a candelabra and little, what did you call that, like spikes or fence, and some stems and leaves. Why am I telling you what I've stitched so far? You can see it. Next we have Jax Bash. This was another Dark October stitching. start. I've loved this pattern for so long, and I had it in my stash for so long, and I had a kid for so long, and this was the perfect opportunity to start it, and I'm so glad I did, because I love the colors. This is from Plum Street Samplers. I forgot to show you the picture, just in case you haven't seen it before. A lot of people have stitched it. There you go. Just look at that border. I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen from Extraordinaire Designs. I believe this is Dark Sand. A few of my starts I've done this. I've given myself less than I could have for no good reason. I don't know. I blame just the insanity of starting a different piece every day, but why, Olivia? Yeah, it's not the only time you'll see that. This next one is Gardner Good Witch by Brenda Gervais. Very cute. There's a little cat with a hat on. I chose to do this on like kind of a crazy fabric, crazy by my standards, and I'm not sure I made the right decision, but I'm going with it. See what I mean? It kind of loses the stitching, but I'm not too picky. I don't even know what, I don't know what this one's going to become after I'm done, but that's where I'm at on it. This is how we learn, Next up, new start since I last saw you. This is a chart that if you've been watching this channel, you know I have loved this one for a long time. I bought this book years ago, and I'm excited that a lot of people have it now because so many of you were stitching the cardinal, which is beautiful. But my favorite pattern in this book has always been Christmas Garden, which I will pull up now. Go. Here we go. Isn't that just so beautiful? So I'm stitching this. I've changed the colors a bit. Blackbird Designs always does these softer colors, which is beautiful. Both of my friends Maddie and Michelle are stitching this, and they're doing it in the softer colorways, and it's gorgeous. I just wanted something more vibrant, and so I've traded out to the called for threads for Gloriana threads that I picked out. I won't be stitching the Christmas Garden part here. I don't really want it to say Christmas because I'm just going to have it hanging up all year. And I've seen several people do that online. But yes, I am stitching this on a piece of Lakeside Linens, a 46 count that I bought when I was at the attic. And here's where I am. Yeah, so you can see the color is a lot deeper. There's only 4 colors in this pattern, which makes it really nice to stitch on. I'm someone who likes to go color by color, and it just makes it so much easier. To only have 4 colors, but it still is a colorful piece. I love that. That's like the top third. And yeah, so let me tell you what colors real quick I'm using. I put in my pretty Queen Elizabeth that Maddie gave me. Just in case you're curious. The Glorianas I'm stitching these on Elizabethan Green, Cranberry, Antique Gold Dark, and Jacaranda. There's probably a nicer way of saying that word. You can only fit so much on the Queen, so I've still got these in there. The Queen is like completely just so I can have something pretty to look at when I pull the threads. Okay, the next one is another Dark October stitching start. Though this isn't really dark, this is more like just an autumn piece. And I borrowed this pattern from my friend Michelle. It's no longer in print, sorry. This is Moonlit Garden by Blackboard Designs. Again, both Maddie and Michelle have stitched this. If they jumped off a bridge, would I too? Probably, let's be honest. Stitching it on blue. I like to stitch fall colors on blue. And here is where I am so far. This is a 40 count Extraordinaire Designs Sampler Blue. This is like, I love this fabric. I need to buy like 5 yards of this fabric. There were so many pieces when I was doing my Dark October stitching that I wanted to stitch on the blue, on this blue. It's just the perfect amount of modeling. But anyway, yes, I like how the colors pop on this. They're really cute. I'm working on that little checker house. I love a checkerboard house. Love this. Thank you, Michelle, for lending this to me. Alright, so this was a Dark October stitching start that I actually never vlogged because there were like 4 weeks. I did one vlog each week, and then I completely cut off the last 3 days of October because I just couldn't upload the video for the last 3 days. I filmed it, but it would have been like 4 minutes, and at that point I was just like, eh. On those last 3 days, 2 of those days are like super smalls by Brenda Gervais Autumn Splendor. I didn't even bother bringing those to show you. I'll show them to you when I finish them. They probably each need like 1 day to finish them. And next time I feel like I really need to finish, I'll probably work on this. But this one is a bigger piece. This is Tombstone Angel by Cathy Barek. It's from the Just Cross Stitch 2011 Halloween edition. Yay me for writing that down. Isn't it awesome? This only takes a few colors and just they're so pretty together. I am stitching this on a Ship's Manor, one of the Prim Fabric of the Months. It's like a light green. And that's where I am so far. I am converting the colors. I mean, not drastically. This is black, and I'm using Raven from Gentle Arts, which is probably my favorite black. It has kind of a green tint, but I'm not sure you'll be able to tell in here. And then there is some like Anchor Black in there because I started it with Raven, then I forgot. I picked it up with Anchor Black, then I realized, and went back to Raven. I'm probably going to change the name in here, but we'll talk about that when I get there. Not to anything deep, by the way. That's not going to be a deep thing. I think I'm going to do like a literary reference type feel. This is the Winchester Mystery House. Do you know? I love this. This is by Debbie Patrick. You will have seen Davina from Moomala stitch this, and Allie from Allie's Stitching Studios. This close, she just has to finish some back stitching. There's a lot of back stitching. And let me show you my progress. This one is different than all of my other whips. It's just different style of stitching. I don't have a rotation, but I do find that I usually work on each piece about a week at a time, and then I switch. This one I have to do in shorter spurts because it's not as relaxing. It's not as chill. Like this is something I have to work more like on the weekends than after a day of work. And when I do work on it, I enjoy it, and I like watching it come together. Anyway, enough talk. This is where I'm at with Winchester Mystery House. I've done some back stitching already because I learned from Allie. Sorry, Allie. But that's just, it is a lot of back stitching, and I do not envy her having to do all of it now. And it is fun to like kind of watch it come alive too. So yeah, it's just such a beautiful chart. I'm loving it, and she really nailed it. It's what the Winchester Mystery House looks like. All right, so I do have one more whip that's a new start. It's got very little progress on it, and it ties to my trip to the attic for the Primitive Holiday Celebration retreat, I guess you would call it. So my friends Maddie and Michelle, who I've mentioned a million times now, they and I went to the attic in November for the Primitive Holidays tradition thing. It had been previewed in their newsletter for like, I don't even know when it started. I want to say maybe January they started showing it. For a long time they previewed it, and from that moment we knew we wanted to go. So it's kind of holiday themed, and there's 3 designer teams there. Blackbird Designs, Needlework Press, and Chessie and me. And so we were dying to go. And then they, so we just kept watching the newsletters for information. And then as it came up, they finally said when they were gonna, how you signed. You had to send an email at exactly 8 a.m. Arizona time. And we were literally like at our different jobs watching the Google clock, and I'll hit send, and we got in, and oh my God. So this is not like a Flosstube retreat. For those of you that aren't familiar with these types of retreats, basically what it is the designers are there, and you have kind of classes with them, but I found it was more like them talking about themselves and their designs and their history, and they each presented projects for you. And we got kits from each of them, and I didn't know a lot of people there. Well, I knew the ladies I went with, and Robin from oh god, I just went out of my head. Nope, I know it. Robin Bird, Sampler Bird. Robin from Sampler Bird was there, and Carolyn from Stash Sister, who works at the attic and has a Flosstube channel on Instagram. They were there, and I knew who they were. But that's it. And I met some lovely ladies there. We made friends with the people we sat at a table with. I met Angela. Hi, Angela. And a bunch of ladies. And so that was fun. But yeah, I didn't know the majority of the people there. It was about 50 people. I don't think the majority of them knew what Flosstube was. But there are a lot of people who've been stitching for a long time. Our table was the only people that it was our first time going to one of these retreats. And it was an amazing experience. So we, sorry, I'm saying a lot because I didn't really think about how I wanted to explain this. So what they did was they had a sampler that they all used as inspiration. And then the first evening was needlework press, and then that was Friday evening. Then Saturday day was Blackboard Designs all day. Saturday evening we all went to the attic and had dinner there, and then Sunday morning was Chessie and me, and all of those designers were amazing, lovely people, and it was an honor to get to, hang out with them and learn from them. And so they all had the sampler that they took inspiration from, and then they each had a small project for us and a larger project for us, and they gave us the full kits for each of these projects. Obviously that's involved in the pricing of the retreat. So I'm going to show you what they gave us. Hopefully I got everything together in one pile, and we'll go from there. So this one was our large needlework press project. It's called 1836 and EF 1836 and 1837. Needlework Press just came out with some beautiful market releases, by the way, if you feel like checking them out. They do like a lot of reproduction samplers. This is what we got from them. You can do it as a sampler, like a frame sampler side by side, or they also gave us the stuff to make this table runner. So they gave us a big piece of burlap, and like you can make it 2 pieces and then attach it on each end. I was telling the ladies I could never do that at my house. Glenn, my partner, would be like, "What is that thing that you just dirty thing you laid on the table?" I'd be like, "It's supposed to look antique." It would never work out. So when I do stitch this, it will be, like that. It's beautiful, and then it came with, like the beautiful threads. They put it on a card for you. I mean, it's just amazing. It was like Christmas, except all stitchy stuff. I have finishing stuff here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the small that was the big project. This was the small project. I got home from the attic, all the intention to make a video, piled up all the stuff, and now it's been sitting there for months. Just silly. Kind of cover the chart, but it's that bag. So they gave us all the stuff we need to make that as well, which is very cute. And those ladies were so cool. It's like a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law team. Could you imagine having a mother-in-law like that? Yeah. They are local to Arizona or Phoenix. If you go to the attic, they have tons of models there. Just gorgeous. Okay. Chessie and me. She put them in these little baggies. This was the small project. Isn't that cute? It's got a red house on it. I'm definitely stitching that. The big project. So the Chessie and me big project. is a sampler, and I kind of freaked out. It was my favorite of the whole thing. I'm going to show you a picture of me holding the model. Yeah, so excited. I think I bit my cue snap. I was that excited. I was like, because we were a little, this is the last day, and we were a little confused. Like, 3 of us had never been to this kind of thing before. And so when she gave us this, we thought this was the project. And we're like, oh, that's cute. Like, it's smaller than the other ones, but that's cute. We like it. And then all of a sudden that sampler came out, and we're like, oh my God, is that the other project? And it was. Peace and Goodwill sampler. This is just right up my alley as far as like a Christmas prim project goes, because I feel like it's something you can put up all year. It's got these pretty pomegranates. Maddie has finished this. You can see it on her Instagram. I just think it's beautiful. It reminds me of the Noel sampler by Brenda Gervais that I stitched. And then she gives you all the materials and the belle soie and the pretty fabric. So I started it, that's all I have so far. We started it for Michelle's birthday as a sow, all of us who sat together at the retreat. The problem is one of the silks, what are they called for threads? Tumbleweed, which is really pretty. It's the same color as my fabric. And when I'm stitching with the one thread, it just completely blends into the fabric. And I know that's fine for most people. For some reason, it just bothers me. It just, I look at it and look at it and I'm like, ah, I don't want it. I want something a little darker. So I kind of stopped, and because I had a million other projects, and waited until I went to my LNS, which I did recently, and I bought a slightly darker gray. This is slate. So I'm going to replace that color with this, and then I'll be perfect. I like that it's soft colors. I love this fabric. I love the colors on the fabric. It just stops me. Something about losing the thread in the fabric just like makes me stop and like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it. The border around it is just a very simple border, but it's all in that color that disappears. So, but yeah, that was, I just love that pattern. I love all of them, but that was right up my alley. Did I mention that Terry made me this bag? My friend Terry. I mean, I mentioned it, and I can't remember if I cut that part out because there was like this messy part. If I didn't mention it yet, Terry, I love this bag. Thank you. If I did mention it, I'd love it double. So, okay. And then Blackbird Designs was there, and our project with them, where I have it here somewhere. 1 second. Okay, so with Blackbird Designs, it was a day long, and they had us do a project where we painted a box. They brought us these boxes. I still have to clean the glass a bit, but a lot of time was spent putting painter's tape around the edges, and you can't get these things perfect because there's like little creases in the wood, you know, in between down in there. But what I can do, and I need to decide if I want to do, I'll probably do it, is get some brown paint and kind of water it down and get a very tiny brush and put some of the paint in there. But this, I think they said these were from Joann's or Michael's, I can't remember. I don't know if they still have them though. Anyway, another silly reason why I should have done this whole thing earlier is that what I'm going to show you that I got from Blackbird was just all released in a booklet at National Market. But that's also good too, because then you can see these things, and if you really like them, they're not, you know, you can get a hold of them. The other pieces I showed you were exclusive, but I think that means that before you know it, they'll be released to everyone. So we painted this box like a nerd. I had them sign the bottom. And what happens is there's a piece that it should be in the patterns I got that I'll show you. It's like a mini sampler kind of thing, and you put it at you line the bottom of the box with it, and then they gave us patterns and kits for little accessories like a needle case, and then you put them in the box. Fancy, sophisticated, if you will. So that was the Blackbird Designs project, and yeah, so it was a lot of like painter's tape, and then you painted, and then you put wax on it, and then you buffed it. Okay, Blackbird Designs. Crinkling. They gave us some crinkly bags. Let me show you. It was this, and they had it tied all up with a ribbon. Oh, glare. But I already took the ribbon off, so I can show you. So this is it's called the Unbroken Song. This is the sampler that goes in the bottom of the box. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. Again, these all came out in a booklet just at Market, so you may have seen them already, and if not, you can get them. This is Singing on Its Way. This is a little pin cushion. How cute. This is Wild and Sweet. This is a little needle book. And then it, it came with the material, finishing material. And, we also each got an antique thimble to put in the box, which is very sweet. Barb and Alma are really cool. I don't know if they use the internet much. I don't think they know how nuts we all are about them. Maddie was explaining to Barb about the 'Tis the Season Sal. They just didn't know that like everyone was stitching that. It's pretty cute. I think she even started kitting it up for herself. And then this was like the smaller, I said there's like a smaller project and bigger project. That was all part of the bigger project. This is the smaller project. This is also in that booklet. It's called Friendship's Gathering, and it's like a thimble purse, thimble bag, to hold all your thimbles. I don't have, not a lot of thimbles, but I still want to make the bag. So that was all amazing. And then they had a chart that was like exclusive that we could buy. I think it was exclusive to the attic, but it's also in that booklet. The bells on Christmas Day. Checkered house. I think this is more pink than I realized and I'm used to. So if I do stitch this, it'll probably be slightly different colors, but it's very cute. Okay, so that was all the stuff that I got at the attic. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Did I say that's all the stuff I got at the attic? That's all the stuff I was given at the attic retreat. That brings us to our next segment. I think you know what's coming. It is time for... Oh! Feels good. Say it again. All right, so let's end with attic haul. Okay, so I had an unexpected Valentine. You might know her. Her name is Betty Ulan. She is on Instagram. Betty, thank you so much. Unexpected Valentine, she sent me these adorable charts that I'm going to show you in the mail for Valentine's. I told her Glenn had something to learn. She's kind of my dealer in You and I and Friends. She sent to me this cute kit. Oops. Look at the pumpkin. I should say she sent these to Elena and I, but if you're going to send something to Elena and I, and you're going to send it to me, the older sister, know that I will choose what I want from that package first. The rest, she can pry from my cold dead hands. I'm just kidding. I share with her. I do, but... Primitive Star. How cute is that? You and I Designs. This is You and I Designs. I don't know the name, though. But it's one of their cute little houses on the hill. Love that. And this is a 40 count gauze, like 1/1 on gauze kit, the Beehive Sampler from Threads Through Time. Never done that. That's exciting. Thank you so much, Betty. Wait, no, that was You and I. She also sent me us Homespun Elegance Winter Motif Sampler, a Christmas sampler too, cute, so cute, and Snowman Button Sampler. It's got little buttons here. Those are adorable. Thank you so much, Betty. That's so sweet of you. These are all, okay, so these are like random things I have bought off the internet since you have seen me last. Okay, so recently I bought Goatload. I bought Goatload off of 123 Stitch, and I couldn't just order one chart, so I was like, what on my wish list has been there forever and risks, going out of print before I buy it. So I finally bought Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. I just love this. This is beautiful. And I would like to stitch it someday, and now I own it. So that's one step closer, right? This is so random, but I'm guessing I saw this on Just Keep Stitching. It seems like something Stephanie liked, but I just thought it was so cute. Educated by Beggar. Get out of here. My girl Arlene Cohen, on fire with Works by ABC. So I bought the Gossamer lace in black work from her, and while I bought that, I also bought Elizabethan blackwork ornament. I was so lucky that I got to hang out with Arlene and McKenna recently. They came to visit the Bay Area, and we spent some quality time and hung out with Jen and Abby, and it was awesome. And so told Arlene, keep that black work coming. I love it. And I bought a cool black work book when I was with them, but that's not in my haul pile, so. This one I've been looking out for a while, and I finally got it for a good price on eBay. Dollhouse by Bright Needle. It just looks like so much fun. I don't know what I'd do with it when I'm done with it, but it's just cute. I forget the website's name. I will put it here. There's a gentleman whose wife passed several years ago, and she was an avid stitcher, and he's selling some of her stash, and I bought this from him. It's actually a full kit, and he's selling for like $15, which is a very good price. It's called the First Noel Sampler by the Sampler. I just thought it was pretty. I would stitch it on blue. It's got the First Noel kind of, you know, from that song, and that one gets stuck in my head. I think I would change the fabric color. It's like this kind of like dusty pinkish color, but I really like that. Okay. This one had been on my wish list for a long time, and thanks to April from April, May, June, and someone was selling it online for cheap. This is the Beehive Sampler, I think? Yeah, Beehive Sampler by Moira Blackburn. Which is beautiful and humongous. Love it. I'd had an eye out for this one for a while. This is the Virtue Sampler by Hillside Samplings. I was not looking for this one, and then when it came on Stash and Load for like half price, and it's just so gorgeous, and it's so big, but it's so beautiful. It's Sheep May Safely Graze by Victorian Rose Needle Arts. I just couldn't resist it. I'm sure you've seen this. So thank you, seller, for making me buy this, because it's beautiful. I might just frame that picture. And then this one, so excited about. This has been my unicorn, and I found it. It is Forgiveness by Exemplar Dames. You would have seen True Wisdom. That's hopefully my next humongous start. Also by Exemplar Dames. That was my unicorn for a long time. Eventually found it, and now I'm going to stitch it. This was my other unicorn, and I was on Instagram one day, and you know, people will upload pics of them and their stitcher friends at stitching shops, and I can't remember whose picture it was, but they were at Dying to Stitch, and it was like, I just honed in the background. I was like, that's the Forgiveness from Exemplar Dames. I was like, I wonder, I mean, if they're hanging the model on the wall, they must have the chart. I called them, they had one copy left. If you happen to see this somewhere and you're like, it doesn't interest me, but I remember Olivia talking about it, I know Emily C would love a copy too, if she hasn't found it already. But I love this. It's gorgeous, and I cannot wait to stitch it one day. I was so happy when I found that. Thank you, Dying to Stitch, for having this in stock and being so friendly and sending it to me. So that was, I know a lot already, but it's been a long time. No excuses. No excuses. There's no excuses. Oh, and then this beautiful stitching journal from the Primitive Stitcher. Was so excited when she made the video and showed that she was selling these, and she sold them at a retreat. Was it Flosstube, New Jersey? No, Midwestern retreat. Anyway, Maddie, Michelle, and I were like dying for these, and she was posting them when we were at the attic retreat, and Maddie and Michelle were totally on top of it, and they nabbed one for me. So thank you. And they nabbed one for me to gift to Elena. So now we all have them. It's just beautiful. It's got clocks on it and this little hand. And I haven't filled it out yet. I was really hoping, I really want a Halloween one. Suzette, if you see this, if you ever make more of these, know that you do have at least one person that'll buy a Halloween one when it's not Halloween. Because I started 31 projects in Halloween, and I think these hold 30 or 31. And I could make it perfectly fit. So I think this one will be all of my whips that aren't Halloween, and then I'll hold out for one day getting a Halloween one. But these are awesome. Okay, let's do attic haul, shall we? So, like you do when you're going to the attic, in my opinion, I saved money for a long time so that I could go and, you know, kind of make it rain. I am going back next month for Stitch Shenanigans. I am so excited. Some of my biggest enablers are going to be there, and I've been saving up for that too. Some of you might think that's crazy. I'm sorry that you think that way. I don't. These bring me joy. Okay, so these actually I just picked up. I had purchased these through McKenna, one of her live videos that she does on her Facebook group, Attic Last Chance, Attic Needlework Last Chance. These are two more. She went through the Moira Blackbirds that they had. This one is Strawberry House Sampler. It's so weird. I was like, I know that poem by memory. I think I memorized it when I was a kid. But anyway, I think that's actually kind of common that kids know that poem, but I don't know why. And I love everything with strawberries on it, and this is just too cute. I don't love everything with strawberries on it, but I do like strawberries and stitching. And then this one is the Maria Short Sampler. It says, yesterday is past, tomorrow is none of thine. Today thy life to virtuous acts incline. Very pretty. So I got those. And then this is a GGR that I had never seen before, but I fell in love with as soon as I saw it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is part of a series. This is the Tree of Life. I think Tree of Life is in here somewhere. I think it's Tree of Life with Animals. I think that's what it's called. I've since seen online that there were two others. They didn't have them there. One has peacocks on it instead of the deer, and one has horses, and they're all a little different. And like, of course, in my head, I'm like, ooh, I need the whole series because I love this one. I don't need the whole series. If I stitch this, am I going to really stitch the two other ones? Probably not. The peacock one is beautiful. I really like that one too, but just chill a little bit, right? So I'm good with this one for now. In my head, I'm stitching this on dark green and like a gold floss, but we'll get there. Anyway, love that. This one I blame on the stitchers out there like Julie from Colorado. No, not Julie from Colorado. Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. She's stitching this. I know Lisa from Kindred Stitcher is stitching this, and several others in a Sal. This is Barbara Anna, the Snooty Parrot Sampler. So pretty. This one will be a quick stitch. This is Ann Dale, 1827. Big and beautiful. This is ginormous. I think this is probably as many pages as Big Red Ship of Life, except that it's like detailed in different colors. But it's so gorgeous, I could not pass it up when I came across it there. I was like, this is your time. This is your time, Olivia, to get the samplers that you love. And so I got this one. That's by Shakespeare's Peddler, Kitten Stitcher. All right, this one I knew I was going to buy. I was waiting to go to the attic to buy it because, that, like I said, that was my sampler time. This is Rachel Howell's 1856 by the Scarlet House. I'm sure you've seen this. This is a popular one. It's just gorgeous. The first time I had seen this was on Instagram, Brenda Sampler Stitcher. I'm sure you know of if you like samplers. She has stitched so many of them. And she had uploaded all these little video snippets of her sampler walls, and this one just really popped. And then I had to know what it was, and I figured it out, and I really want to stitch this one day soon. Beautiful. And then this last one is another Scarlet House. This is Harriet Taylor, 1842. Now, This one, that border gets me, and I wasn't, you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty, but, and then we were sitting there on like our last trip to the attic, and Angela, a friend I made there, was like staring at this on the wall, and I was like kind of watching her stare at it, and then I started staring at it, and I was like, that's really pretty. I was like, that border is beautiful. And she was like kind of talking about how pretty it was, and then we were both kind of getting obsessed, and then we both like bought it, and now I really want to stitch it. And I just fall more and more in love with it the more I look at it. And then I was like, well, the colors are really soft, maybe I want them more vibrant. And then she pulled the NPIs. They're not a ton, and they just looked so pretty together, and I didn't buy them yet, but I think I might stitch it as it started. I just think it's beautiful. So thank you, Angela, for convincing me that I needed to have this. So that is my haul. All right, up next, I'm gonna do a little segment on other crafts. I'll start with sewing. I'm gonna show you some things that, well, I'm gonna show you project bags, but I didn't make them. These were gifted to me, and I have to show them because they're gorgeous, and I love them. So this one is from my friend Annette, the California Stitcher, on Instagram. Check this baby out. Oh, I think Annette just realized, like, she saw me and she's like, that girl's royalty. Or it could be because I stitched Queen Elizabeth in Blackbird. Because look at this card. I'm going to frame this card. This is gorgeous. That piece right there is a needlepoint piece. She told me who designed it. It is Gay Ann Rogers. I will put the website right here because Annette makes like the cards and the bags for her. And one day that's a life goal right there to stitch that. That's gorgeous. Annette, thank you so much. I love this, and now I can finally use it because it's been sitting there waiting for me to show it. I couldn't not show this. Maddie made Michelle and I these beautiful Blackbird design fabric bags for the retreat. Don't tell Elena, she's very jealous that she didn't get one, which is why I'm showing it even longer than I need to. Thank you, Maddie. This is gorgeous. I love those colors. And we brought on a retreat and put a little Blackbird design stuff in there. We're pretty proud of ourselves. And then this is the happiest project bag I have ever seen. I dare you not to be happy when you look at it. Bam. Daleen, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Look at these freaking gnomes. Look at the chubby guy right there. So cute. Thank you so much. This is Goatload's been in here. I love it. Thank you, ladies, so much for the project bags. I love how like people like we make the project bags and we give them to people we like, and like they're kind of like our friendship bracelets of cross stitch. It's very cute. What's next? Oh yeah, I was talking about other crafts. Okay, hold tight. Okay, so I wanted to make Maddie and Michelle something for Christmas. I wanted to make them something handmade. They have both stitched me things before and I adore them, and I was like, I know I'm not very good at if I do like deadline stitching, it just doesn't come together. It ends up being stressful, so I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm going to make them something that's not stitching related. I wanted to make them pin cushions because they like smalls, and so I decided I would make them something out of wool. Who knew, right? But if you have ever seen hand-dyed wool that they use for like wool applique and stuff, that stuff's beautiful, and I wanted to make something out of it. Anyway, so I bought this pattern online by Cottonwood Creations. It's that little cardinal, and I decided to make 2 of these. And these, I like this pattern. It's like a $6 pattern. It's really cute. I was a beginner with this stuff. This wasn't written for a beginner. I had to look at the picture a lot to figure things out. Just something to keep in mind. I would still try this if you're interested. She has several cute patterns, and I would buy one again and try to make it, but it did take some fumbling around a bit. But I have not had a chance to give Michelle hers yet. I was supposed to see her and her dumb coworker got her sick like multiple times. But I'm finally going to see her today. That's one of the reasons I'm making this video now, so that I get to show this to you and then give it to her, and then she can see it. Wow, guys, this must be a long video because I'm yet again having to shoot another video. Okay, here is the cardinal I made Michelle. Isn't he cute? He's got little bead eyes. He's not perfect, but you know, he's handmade. You're supposed to put sand in the bottom. I didn't have access to sand. So I got like ground up rock that they sell in the floral department. I put a little of that in here, and then the rest is fiberfill. And I don't know if he leans. No, he looks okay. So that was fun. And I want to make more of that. I would also have, oh, I didn't pull it, but Maddie for Christmas gave me this beautiful wool applique pattern. I'm sorry, I have to show it to you. It's so pretty. I don't know where I put it. I'm really sorry. But I'll have to show it to you guys next time. It's called Moonlight, and it's like a moon, and it's got birds, and it's very pretty, and I really want to try wool applique one day. So thank you for that, Maddie. Sorry, I need to, it's in here somewhere, but I've now created this huge mess in here. So, okay, so thank you to all of the Flosstubers out there who quilt, because you have been very inspirational. So I have been wanting to try it for a while. I have sewn small things together in the past, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I've been inspired to like look into it more and learn. And then this line of fabrics came out with the gnomes and mushrooms, and they were adorable. I knew I needed a reason to buy that. And I guess Emily and Diana love that fabric too, thank goodness, because they wanted to put together a quilt along. And so we're using a pattern called Yellow Brick Road Quilt pattern. I'm gonna get that. Hold on. Guess what was in the same place as the quilt pattern? You guessed it. The wool applique pattern. It's called Moonshine, and it's by Traditional Wool Expressions. I think the gray in the background might need to be blue. But isn't that beautiful? Oh my god. I need to kit that up and figure out how to kit that up without seeing the wools in person, but I'll make that work one day. I can't find anywhere around here that sells wool. If you know of somewhere in Northern California that sells wool, relatively close to the Bay Area, please let me know. That's exciting. Okay, sorry. See how disorganized this is getting? Okay, so this quilt pattern is by Atkinson Designs, called Yellow Brick Road. And it's made for beginners, and this is awesome. If you're thinking about learning quilting or making your first quilt, and you're on the fence about this, I say go for it. It gives you, you can make it for any size, and it's very clear on what to do depending on what size you're making. It doesn't assume that you know anything. Or no, I mean, I guess it assumes you know how to sew, but it doesn't assume that you've made a quilt before. And you could just you could use any fabric, you know, like since I'm new to this, I see this and I probably would have just looked the other way because I'm not used to trying to picture my colors in it. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be making. But in the meantime, and when I posted that I was cutting fabric for that quilt along that we're doing, I had to lie in little and say it was my first quilt. It's not my first quilt. It's my second quilt, because my first quilt has been a secret up until now, and I haven't even been able to tell one of my closest stitchy friends because I'm making it for her, because her latest FFO was a baby. That's Maddie. Maddie had a baby. Her baby I'm meeting today. She was born 9 days early, which cut out 9 days of my time making the gift, but I'm not going to hold it against her. That baby is called Vivian, and I wanted to make her a quilt. So I used that pattern and I made a baby quilt, and I made it myself, and it's fully finished, and I'm going to show it to you now before I give it to its recipient. Let's see if I can fit this in. Okay. Look at those sexy pants. I like those. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to work, but you can get the picture. It is made with a line called Country Orchard by Blackboard Designs. If I was going to make Maddie a quilt, it would have to be Blackboard Designs fabric. It's got a border on it. It has binding on it. It even has a back on it. I made a lot of mistakes. This is unintentional, wabi-sabi, but it was made with a crap ton of love. So I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Okay, it's just a quilt. Yes. So I totally caught like the quilting bug. I'm not gonna lie. I am looking at getting a better machine. One that can actually handle a little bit of something. I've also been working on at the same time, I've been working on a flannel quilt for Glenn and Dusty. It is super simple. It is two fabrics. It's just squares. It's messy and not precise. I'm making out of flannel. I've never worked with flannel before. It's not the flannel. I bought it at Joann's, but it's garment flannel. So I want something higher quality than just the snuggle flannel. As a beginner, I'm finding it's easier for me to sew with higher quality fabrics. Of course, I don't want to spend too much money on high quality fabrics because I'm a beginner, but working it out. But at Joann's, I feel like you work, half the fun shopping there is working the coupons and the sales and getting a good deal. But flannel is very heavy and thick, and which is perfect for this blanket because it's just gonna be like a snuggly blanket, and if it falls apart one day, then we just toss it. It's nothing fancy. It's on heirloom, but I'm tying it instead of quilting on the machine. My machine is dinky, and it's been great all these years as I do little sewing projects on it. But man, it is not easy to quilt on, and I would like to do more quilting. So that one day in the future. So yeah, so that has been fun. Gosh, did I get everything? Thank you so much if you're still watching and you stuck with all of that. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry more for selfish reasons because I feel like you're just fine. You haven't been just sitting there refreshing YouTube, waiting for my video. But all of you that take the time to watch, thank you so much. And all of you that take the time to make videos, please know that I appreciate it because I watch a lot of Flosstube and you inspire me regularly. And just keep making them. I don't care how much you say I don't care what you look like. I don't care, if you want to show haul or you want to show gifts or you don't want to. It doesn't matter. If I'm watching you, it's because I love you and I love your videos and I cherish you. And all of you that take the time to watch, whether you comment or not, whether you subscribe or not, whether you like or not, it doesn't matter. I just appreciate it. Because, I'm someone who never thought I would put myself on YouTube because it seemed really intimidating and scary, and it's been anything but. So thank you all, and I hope you're all doing well, and if you're not, then you are in my thoughts, and I'll see you later. Bye.